And today we're reacting to Clavicular is out of control. Bro, so there's this guy. I'm sure y'all have seen him. He's been, showing up a lot recently. One of the big clips is he was saying he did something called bone smashing to strengthen the bones. It sounds like he know what he talk about, but bro, good. And he'll go and talk about how somebody looks, not necessarily judge, but break down what they need to do to look better. Y'all know him if y'all seen him. If not, you're about to learn about him now. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Hurry up. Let's get to the video, man.
This man, Clavicular, says that he is influenced to do anything, that he's his own man and he's just logical. I disagree. I think he's comparing himself to other people and saying there's better looking people out there, and so I need to do better.
So you want to be 99th percentile at all aspects of life?
Absolutely.
Except maybe longevity.
Yeah.
Coach Greg, in today's video, it's on Clavicular. This guy is one of the most interesting characters I've ever seen. He reminds me of a combination of Togi and Brian Johnson, of all people, rolled up into one, except this guy is not trying to age max. He doesn't care about living. He cares about maximizing his looks at all costs.
Interesting. Looksmaxing, a final boss S-tier situation.
I don't want to spoil the entire video, but here's some things that he's done. He started using steroids at 14. He wants to lengthen his limbs because he's only 6'2", and he's
he wants to lengthen his limbs because he's only 6'2". That's like y'all seeing me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get leg lengthening surgery right now. I'm 6'2" right now. So what height are you trying? It must be something like 6'5" or something like that. It could be 6'3" is too close. 6'4" is like, it's just in the realm of like, you're not. It's still tall, but you probably won't see the difference. I think 6'5" and up, it would have to be the only thing that makes sense why he would do this. Bro, and people that be taking, for my people, anybody that would take steroids, bro, or have done it before, bro, y'all would see these vials and be like, this don't look like I'm supposed to put this in my body, bro. I don't know what about it. I think maybe just because of what it's in, but that don't look like I'm supposed to be putting that in my body.
He's getting titanium implant surgery in order to make him look prettier. He wears makeup, and he's a neural divergent, which I learned has something to do with autism or something.
Wow.
And he's very, very bright. I'm going to argue that he has body dysmorphia and that he somehow messed things up during his childhood, and that this is not the kind of guy that we should emulate. Now, he does in fact make exceptional points. I'm not gonna lie, I went into this a little bit biased, but he expresses himself very well. It's hard to believe he's only 19 years of age. If
he doesn't look nice.
you have a kid watching this guy's videos, I'm warning you, be careful.
Take me back to 14-year-old Braden. What was the exact moment you decided that natural puberty wasn't enough?
I thought, why would I work out as a natural, take years to make the progress that I can make in months?
This already could be an entire video. He started injecting 300 milligrams of testosterone a week at 14. He asked, where did you get this information?
Mexico.
And I was praying he wouldn't have said from Coach Greg. And thankfully he said Derek. Why should you wait when you can get your gains sooner than last time? For being an intelligent 19-year-old, I'm surprised he couldn't answer these questions himself. At 14, you haven't even gone through puberty yet. Why are you rushing puberty? Why do you want to be an adult when you're a child?
The internet, especially now. At one point, we was okay with, like, I remember being like, damn, I wanted to grow up just so I could get out of my mama's house. I feel like we were at the age when I was in high school and stuff like that. We all just wanted to grow up so we could no longer have to be bombarded with our parents, rules and shit. Right? Regular teenage shit. And as we got older, we came to realize, damn, nigga, shit, it's tough out here, right? Everybody that you know that's 20 something, 23, 24, still living with their people, you be hearing it like, damn, that just sound nice. You ain't got to pay. You said you ain't got no rent? Damn. But now, because of how the internet is, now it's like, oh, okay. From the girls to the guys as well, you know what I'm saying? You want to grow up so you can look a certain way, or also to get out your parents' crib, but so you can look a certain way. They trying to like yo face and all this. Back, bro, when I was younger, it just this wasn't a question. It was like, damn, nigga, I'm ugly as hell. I work with what I got, or I'm handsome. That person's handsome. They get what they get, right? And now you can do switches, and it's more known and more accepted to go and get something switched. Like there was, bro, if you would have said something like this, oh yeah, that girl, she did this to her face in high school. I remember there was a girl that did that, and it wasn't like a big talk of the town thing, but it was like, damn, really, she has plastic surgery. Plastic surgery was not looked at how it is now, just in 2016, 2017. Literally.
A teenager. Some of the best years of your life are going to be when you're a teenager. And when you get older, you would do and pay anything to get those years back, but yet you want to fast forward to your future. Why not just enjoy the ride? Not to mention all the horrendous side effects, taking years off of your life and so on, as well as at 14 years of age, you don't even know what you want. You might think you want to be a bodybuilder, to LooksMax your muscles and so on. Couple of years later, you're thinking, no, I don't even like weightlifting. I want to do something else. This is not the time to experiment with dangerous drugs, and do it in secret.
I'm going to get my physique going as quickly as possible. I do not care about side effects. I don't care about any implications of, oh, this guy's using drugs. Like, none of that shit really fazed me.
My opinion is this is what happens when your parents don't say no.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Word. That's real. My mom, she was scared of pre-workout. She was scared of pre-workout. Protein. She was scared of shit, so she wouldn't let me like do certain things. She was scared of that shit, bro. So she was like, nah, I ain't doing that. My Deuce is telling me no until I had to break it down and teach her when I got older. Like, Ma, this is what this is. That's what this
son is special. He's neurodivergent, and so I'm just going to give him whatever he wants, whenever he wants. There's something that's very important that I was taught when I was a kid, and that is known as patience. Sometimes you have to wait. You don't just get whatever you want right away. I mean, if your goal later in life is to have children, start a family, should you start at 14? Hey, you know, I didn't want to wait, and so I found myself a girl.
So your mom, she competed as a bodybuilder, and your dad lifts, works out.
Parents were bodybuilders. Does anyone think that growing up in a household where the parents are maybe obsessed with their looks, their appearance, the dieting, the perhaps taking steroids, performance-enhancing drugs, that it might have been noticed by a younger individual and that they might have looked up to those parents and thought, you know what, looks really do matter. I mean, look at how much my mom and my dad are obsessed with it. And so I want to use steroids. And where do you think he got steroids at 14? Is it possible, maybe, that he got it from their parents? Snuck in the room, found it, and started using it in secret. Do you think it's possible?
How did your parents react?
My parents would, go through my room and find steroids, often confiscate them. So that'd be a bit of a burden.
A bit of a burden. You know, my parents, they're losers. They confiscated my testosterone. You know, I'm 14. I know what I'm doing. I'm a full-grown adult. I'm smarter than them. Maybe not as smart as Mike Israetel with his 160 IQ, but I'm smarter than my parents, and how dare they take my drugs away from me? I mean, if your kid continues to get steroids at 14 and you're a parent, you need to do whatever you need to do to make it stop happening. I don't care if it means pulling them out of school, having a camera installed in every room of the house and saying, look, there ain't no steroids coming into this house. And by the way, we're getting blood work done, perhaps at AlgoRx. You can click the link in the description, get the blood work, and we are going to see whether it's from AlgoRx or any other provider. I don't care, but we are testing you to make sure there's no way you're going to be 14 years old living in my house and on steroids.
So it was hard at first, but eventually they started to realize that there was nothing that they could do about it. I was always going to do whatever it takes.
I am not a parent. Admittedly, I am not sure exactly what I would do, but I'm sure they could have done something. Did they try? How hard did they try? I mean, if you're a parent watching this and you have a 14-year-old and they say, hey, mom and dad, you know what? I'm going to use meth and alcohol.
Hey, mom and dad, I'm going to use meth and drink alcohol and smoke weed. And there's not much you can do about it. And it's like, I think what he's saying is like, they realize there's not much he can do because it's like your child just got to respect you enough to the point where they're like, I'm not going to do this. Maybe there's a little bit of fear, or there's certain consequences that come with this. Whatever it is, they just going to have to do, because it's true. My mom, she was trying her best. I mean, she wasn't letting me smoke, and you know what I'm saying, but like she didn't want me to do that, but like it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna find a way around it. And then what? Like you're gonna say I can't leave the house. That's just gonna make me more, you know what I'm saying, it's just gonna make it worse. Like, so it makes sense, but so you like around that age you can't stop them. You can't. At around a certain age, you can't stop them. You can try, though. And there's definitely real effort. Like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep coming up with ways to the point you're going to have to. Nobody going to be able to say that he didn't try to make sure his son didn't do certain things. Nigga, I'm going to lock you down and, you know, don't leave this house, man. Don't be trying to sneak out this house. When you get home, you do this. Give me that phone. XYZ, boom, bam, bop. Nobody going to say I didn't try to save my child's life, right? He just gonna have to one day in the middle of the night run away, and I'm just like, well, damn, I couldn't have stopped it. So that's what I mean by he's gonna do whatever they want at some point. But there's I tried though.
And drugs, steroids, I don't care about that, Mom. I'm not going to wait. I'm Gen Z, and we get to do what we want. We get to change into boys or girls at the age of 12 if we want. And so if I want to use drugs behind your back, I'm doing it. You can't say no. That is not how it works.
I wouldn't even say it was influenced by anyone else. It was a purely logical decision. I didn't really see people like David Layden think, oh, I want to be like this guy.
How many people think that that's true? That no one influenced him to want to have a jacked physique, to kind of look like David Layden. It wasn't the fact that he perhaps had social media and was presented all these amazingly good-looking bodies and thought, you know what, I want that. How is it possible that he wasn't influenced by that? He appears to be intelligent the way that he speaks, his knowledge, but yet it's almost like he's lying to himself. Clavicular. How can you not see that you are influenced to do these things, that you are a product of your environment? Whether it's your parents, your friends and family, or swiping on your phone, how can you possibly think that you aren't influenced to take steroids to develop?
Your brain was just like, no, you need to be taking steroids. You need to look better, like without none of that.
Better physique.
No influence.
Because of your environment.
You know, if this makes sense mechanistically, then I'm going to do it. Like, I'm a hyper logical guy. And I don't really get influenced by other people.
Wasn't influenced by anyone. Why did you want muscles in the first place? You must have seen somewhere that people with bigger muscles, better bodies, taller, better looking, that they have an easier time in life, which of course is true. But just because that's true doesn't mean you alter your genetics, that you start abusing steroids at 14 in order to grow faster.
And I knew that the measures would be extreme. But I was like, well, you know, this is kind of what it takes, you know, and I was always someone who's willing to do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, does that not bear a striking resemblance, in fact, a carbon copy of Rich Piana, doing whatever it takes? But no.
Jesus Christ, you know this guy be tripping. You know, just off of how his hat is on his head, you know he be spazzing, bro. I don't want to be in that room.
I wasn't influenced by anybody.
These people, these LooksMax creators, we're all genetically gifted. They don't really understand, you know, how it is to grow up not exactly good looking.
These other LooksMaxers, you know, they were all blessed by being attractive. Me, I'm ugly. I mean, look what I have to work with. I'm only 6'2" and I look like freaking Superman. Does this guy not look like a slimmer, less body fat version of Henry Cavill? But I have an uphill battle. Look, bro sitting in his chair, he's 5'6". Now granted, I am...
Buddy, he's talking to like, you must think I look like dog shit.
6'5" when I'm sitting on my wallet, but on a normal day-to-day basis, I'm 5'6". And yeah, he's a famous rapper, but I had to work for those things.
It never made me insecure. I never really had my life altered in any way. I just knew that something needed to change.
The fact that he's 6'2" alone, it almost doesn't even matter anything else. If you're 6'2" and you're not fat, you're above average looking.
And I'm so glad that I look a little bit more mature, than I actually am in terms of my age.
What's like the scientific reason that you look older?
He looks older because he took steroids. It affected the androgen receptors,
right.
and
that doesn't
he's
look
aged.
like a 19-year-old, bro. That looks like a 25. Let's say around 25.
A lot of people say when you take testosterone and so on, it can make you look older. So let me get this straight. When you're younger, you want to look older, but then when you're older, you want to look younger.
Right.
It takes your entire life to learn the things that you wish you knew when you were younger. If I could go back and make changes, I absolutely would. He's 19. When he's 50, if he makes it to 50,
Right.
he's going to look back on this and say, I shouldn't have taken steroids at 14. This was stupid. This was moronic. What was I thinking? But he doesn't yet have the wisdom. He's a Gen Z teenager. He's done this. He likely has rarely hung out with friends. And so he doesn't even know what he actually wants.
Hey, what's good, y'all? I'm back again. And I've been putting a lot of people on to this program called Free Cash for a while now. Check out one of my supporters that had the biggest payout that I've seen yet from all the DMs y'all sent. And I promise you, they've been hitting me up saying that they've tried it and it's worked. They've been getting cashed out, and I love to hear that because it genuinely actually works. And don't think I have not been seeing y'all's comments saying things like it doesn't work. Dior supporting a finesse. They're trying to take your data. And it's not true at all. And the fact that y'all would think that I would even put that on a video to get y'all finessed is wild to me. But hey, first off, Free Cash does not sell your data. They strictly track your progress to make sure you can get paid. Only sign up with an email and password and give no personal information. So I don't know what y'all are talking about. Here's how it goes. You sign up through my link, and inside you see a list of apps and games. Download them, play, and beat the levels that they tell you. That's the key. You got to complete the requirement. And once you hit the level, the system credits your account. And every time you finish, you get real money. Cash out to your PayPal or get a gift card, while it also being free of charge. The games pay Free Cash to get new players, and Free Cash just shares the money with y'all for trying it out. It may take a little time to get a huge payout, but if you're gonna be on your phone playing games anyway, you might as well make $5 to $10 doing the same thing. I don't want to hold y'all any longer, and I hope I've cleared up some things if you've been sitting on the fence. Hit the link, try a few games, and then DM me. Let me know that you've been winning, actually getting your money. Like I showed y'all earlier, bro made $1,000 off of Free Cash. I'm not promising that's gonna happen every day for y'all, but the fact that there's a possibility for doing something that y'all already do should really be all the convincing that you need, bro.
I've also used things like HGH, so just all these different growth pathways being elevated led to, me looking a little bit older.
How has bro even afforded to get all these drugs? Growth hormone, testosterone, masterone, orals, aromatase inhibitors, meth, Adderall, the list goes on and on.
Do you value hard work at all?
No, absolutely not.
It goes on and on.
Do you value hard work at all?
No, absolutely not. I value efficient work. I value smart work. Hard work is a ridiculous concept.
I've heard this. This is somewhat true. Hard work. It's like when they say lazy people, when lazy people are still very successful because they're gonna find a way to do the best thing lazily or efficiently, so that way they don't have to work hard. Right? I know somebody very lazy but would do whatever it takes to still make it happen. It's just he's gonna do it more efficient. Work harder, work smarter, not harder. That whole saying. It's like let's see. It's hard work to go to work construction every single day, right? To make money with the end goal to be making money. Then you have the person that didn't work as hard, that's not out here doing grueling work, but they are putting the pieces together for the person that works hard to make the same amount of money. These two people make the same amount of money. They just work smarter to get that money rather than the guy who's working these grueling, heat, exhausting days and hours, right?
Does it not remind you a little bit of Togi?
Do you enjoy it? Like when we're training right now, do you feel like I'm looking forward to this, or it's just more of like let's get this workout done so I'm one day closer?
Right now, I am not having fun.
But yet he's made it. And so his influence is other young kids are going to see Togi and say, I also want to take steroids. I also want to gamble. I want to be a famous social media influencer.
This nigga has what? Is that a Victory Royale tattoo on his back? His only tattoo?
A lot of similarities between this guy and Togi. And isn't it strange, or is it a coincidence? They're all tall. Togi about 6'3", this guy about 6'2". Maybe it has an effect.
I think people value hard work because you learn a lot on your journey.
I mean, why work hard when you can just get it like that? Why train for 5 or 10 years to get the physique what you want when you can just abuse steroids and get it in 5 months? I'll tell you why, and this may seem cliche, but it's all about the journey.
I forgot to mention, I'm sure probably a comment already done popped up. I forgot to mention, all my life I've worked hard though. I'm not one of those people that know how to effectively create this plan and da-da-da. All my life, everything that I've had to do, everything that I've earned that meant something to me, I've worked extremely hard for. I wasn't the person that, like, I was gifted with a certain talent, just enough talent, so that way I wasn't like, yo, you suck. And I was like, well, okay, I got to start from the complete bottom. You know what I'm saying? I have some type of height. If we're talking basketball, I have some type of musically inclinedness when it comes to music when I was producing. Here, I have already had some type of personality, right? But I was able to have a good foundation, but everything else, bro, I had to build that house in the heat. I had to build this kingdom in the heat, grueling heat, bandits coming through, stealing and robbing. Bruh, I'm talking about I had to grind and work extremely hard for it. And he's right. I learned a lot from that. But I do commend the people that are able to achieve the same thing from doing it more efficiently or however they're able to handle it. Because I wasn't awarded that luxury. My battery. Oh yeah, I forgot, guys. I started to put this picture up while I changed my battery. 1 second.
Rather than the destination. I'm 50, I've been your age, and I know what it's all about. The
He's
fun
50?
is in the journey,
It's a good 50.
making the gains, going to the gym, looking in the mirror and seeing yourself improve. Whether it's your times in your run or your bike ride, your swim, getting better at your sport, your instrument, whatever. It's not about just getting there. It's about the fun you had in the process.
And it's at times it's not fun though. Can't lie. Like, I can look back and say that shit wasn't fun trying to get to these places, bro. It was very difficult.
When you apply yourself and you work hard, the dopamine released when you do get that goal, perhaps you win that race. You win that bodybuilding show, or you finally hit 225 on the bench press. That is an amazing feeling and makes you want more. And so dopamine that you have to work hard for, that's the kind of dopamine that you want. The dopamine you can get very easily. Now that is very dangerous. This includes sniffing creatine, using recreational drugs, and so on. Those things you need to be careful. If he can quickly get a surgery and immediately he looks better, he's not going to want to put in the work. Why would I bother doing things that take months in order to improve when I can do it right now? This results in a person that is going to be lazy. He isn't going to be a hard worker. Notice he doesn't value hard work. And so that is going to hurt you down the line.
I personally hate going to the gym now. I find it, kind of shitty to start the day. Have to go to the gym. I think of it as a chore.
Have to go to the gym. Do you know how much that hurt me? I was talking to my sister about this the other day, how people don't appreciate the fact that they get to go to the gym. My sister with stage 4 cancer on chemotherapy, she's thankful that she can still train. Imagine how hard it is for her to do that. She feels sick, she's throwing up, she's in pain, but yet she's still happy that she gets to go and work out. She gets to go for a walk. Yet guys like Clavicular, I hate it, I have to go work out. Imagine telling that to someone with stage 4 cancer.
Like if there was a pill you could take that would make you as smart as possible, already learn everything, be as jacked as possible, look perfect, like would you take that?
Absolutely.
Where's the trick question here? Of course I would. The problem is that pill has side effects.
Right.
What he's taking, the various drugs that he's on, they don't come with no consequences, one of which it's shortening his time here on this earth. Why not preface the section with, would you take a pill that does this, this, and this if you knew it's taking 20 years off of your life? Now, when you're young, 14, 17, 19, whatever, you're going to say yes because you don't appreciate just how important that time actually is. When you're young, you think you have your entire life, which technically you do, but that entire life gets shorter as you get older.
Because I'm trying to optimize every single metric of my life. I'm not only interested in fitness, right?
Notice that his journey is almost over. He's nearly optimized. And so what are you going to do then? Remember, I previously just stated it's all about the journey rather than the destination.
Word, because he just speeding through. It's like he's not even giving himself time, like the time for it to. Damn, it's about to rain. He's not even letting the time, come. It's just, oh, I got this now. It's like the question when people are like, and mind you, I'm taking the money, but when somebody's like, oh, would you take $20 million right now? It's like, yes, I'm gonna take that 20 million. So I do understand with the grind and the journey. I am having fun on it. You know what I'm saying? You're getting the little rewards, the little dopamine when you meet a goal. It's like when you get that 20 million, right, as somebody that's working to something. Like if you're just a lazy person that ain't got nothing going on and you're just like 20 million, boom, let me get it. You feel me? You're gonna have that. You'll probably enjoy it and appreciate it more. But like when you're on a journey and you're seeing that one day you can get that money, you feel it's a different kind of feeling. For instance, when somebody says, when somebody gives you one of those hypotheticals and it'd be a crazy one, for instance, Berto asked me, he said he saw somebody say it, he was like, hey, would you let some random old man slap his Johnson on your forehead for 20 million Jesus! Right now? And I was like, and he was like, it ain't gotta be nothing crazy, he just gonna boom right on your head. And the answer, like the easy answer is yeah. But I was telling him, like, one day, I don't even think it was 20 million. It was like a amount that, is very hard to achieve. Like, I think it was like $1 billion or something like that. But like, you say that for $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, I want to say something like that. All right, hold on. Something like that. That's that easy. He said you could close your eyes and everything. You ain't even, no cameras, nothing. No strings attached. It's like, hold on, man. All right. Come on. Bring it. Let's do it, man. Come on. All right. Let me get my money. We gone. Something like that. But when, them crazy hypotheticals, would you lose your right arm for 20 million? It's like, no, because I'm going to get 20 million one day. Right? And there's a journey that comes with the 20 million. But when you just straight and you can appreciate and know that you're going to do that. But when they just give it to you when you are already on a path to something, like you give me 20 million right now, it's going to be hard for me to come on here and start keep posting videos, bro. You give me 50 million right now, it's going to be hard for me to come on here each and every day and be as consistent as I am. Maybe I'm still making videos, but it's a different one. I'm posting multiple videos every single day on multiple channels. That goes away when you award me a luxury like that. I have nothing to work towards anymore. This is my life's work right now. You feel me? So it's like that's how I kind of see the whole thing. I know I just went on a rant and a tangent, it just went kind of everywhere, but that's how I see it.
When you're natural, that journey is a lot longer. When you're on steroids, you're going to get your final physique, final form a lot sooner. And then what? What are you going to do once you can't put on any muscle? Once you have to come off?
Or do you prioritize health?
I would say no. I would say that functionality is a better word than health.
I mean, is this guy Mike Israetel, like, how can he not care about his health? Actually, that's a good comparison. Mike Israetel had surgery to remove 20 pounds of body water, which he didn't have. And this guy is getting facial reconstruction surgery, getting a double mandibular implant, a nose job, all kinds of stuff. I don't even know what he's getting technically. And for what? Does he not already look good enough?
So you don't care about maximizing your lifespan as much as your day-to-day?
Yeah, I'm not a huge longevity guy.
Not a huge...
I'm not worried about my lifespan. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, somebody like this doesn't strike me as somebody that wants to have kids. I would never say anything like this. I don't. Or I would not speak on myself like that. You know, now one thing I do be saying is that, and I changed it recently. At first, I was telling myself I'm good at like 70 years old. Nah, I want about 85 now. I just know, I would understand if it's like, I don't care to be so old to the point where I'm forgetting shit and like, you know, it's very hard for me to walk and I'm in pain all the time. I think I'm fine. I'm good off of that. But, you know, as long as I have children, yeah, I want to be 70 years old. I want to be 80 something years old and seeing, dang, okay, this is nice what I've been able to build. And then I'll fall back. But yeah, I don't know. Way he talking, he sound like he good with 37. You know what I'm saying? God forbid. Shit, I mean, if he won it, but I don't know.
Longevity guy. And so Brian Johnson would be rolling over his
yeah. This guy right here, I've just recently learned about
grave,
this guy.
But Brian Johnson's going to live forever.
Yeah.
And so he must be thinking, how can I fix this guy? What is going on? 2025, you've heard it here first.
Why are you spending $100,000 on surgery to go from 6'2" to 6'6"?
I've always valued
6'6".
presence super, super highly, right? You walk into a room, people notice, right?
Tell me you're not insecure when you're already 6'2" and look like freaking Superman, but now you need to be 6'6" so that everyone notices you, that your presence is felt by everyone.
And the recovery is such a grueling one. Is it even worth it? You're gonna feel extremely insecure during the recovery. Walking like Frankenstein and shit, bro.
Why is he so insecure that he needs all these things? Remember, it's not just that he wants it, that it would be cool if it was true. We can all play make-believe. Sometimes I wish I was 6'5" when I wasn't sitting on my wallet. But I'm not going to cut my legs and go through 1 year of torture in order to be taller. Limb lengthening surgery, really, when you're 6'2"? I mean, I've heard of wearing foot inserts, perhaps make you a couple of inches taller, but this is absurd.
Because people will come up to me, they'll say, "Oh, well, 6'2", you know, that's already very tall." But in terms of percentiles, it's only 91st percentile, right? 6'6", we get to 99th.
You're already at the 95th percentile, but that isn't enough. Newsflash. 6'6" is not hotter than 6'2". Unless you're a volleyball player, perhaps a basketball player, you don't need to be 6'6" to be attractive. There's such a thing as too much of a good thing. If you're too tall, it can actually hurt your...
It can harm your life experience, bro. I've seen it, bro. I know people 6'8", bro. Bro, imagine being 6'8" with no money, with low funds. 6'8" with low funds, you're a like your life is, it's a burden to yourself. Being that height is a burden, bro. Being 6'8" in a goddamn Toyota Camry can barely even fit in that motherfucker, right? Being 6'8", wearing a size 17 shoe, and the only shoe you can wear is Reeboks from Walmart and shit. Like, you can't even, like they might be the only shoe, not even Reeboks, they don't even sell Reebok at Walmart. Walmart shoes that are for big and tall, that big and tall section. They don't have no brand, that you just got, you are subject to one shoe. 6'8" is a tough life, man, if you're not living a certain way.
Chance with the ladies. Women love a man who's 6'2", perhaps 6'3", maybe even 6'4". But when you keep getting taller, there's less people that actually want that. I mean, if you were 8'9", would that be better than being 6'2"? I don't think so.
So you want to be 99th percentile at all aspects of life.
Absolutely.
Except maybe longevity.
Yeah.
Do you know what the number one predictor of longevity actually is?
Yeah.
Your VO2 max. And so if he cared about living a long and healthy life, do you know what he would prioritize? Hard cardio. And so, for example, when I was racing bikes, improving my VO2 max,
Christ. Jesus. I need to get, bro. I need to just start doing hard cardio again.
On the 99 percentile, that is going to have me living longer. Rather than taking meth, other drugs, and trying to LooksMax. What good is looking amazing when you're dead before the age of 50?
So it's a very treacherous process. It's very painful. You have to be under close supervision with doctors.
We've actually seen a man who's done this. We've seen him walking with the crutches. He's well over 6 feet tall. And he also looks mad.
Hell nah. Yeah, this nigga. Yeah, bro, all that goes out the window when you start walking like this. You can't even appreciate all the rest and the looks and stuff like that because it looks like he's walking on stilts. Like he's walking with somebody else holding him from the bottom. You know how in the cartoons it's a big ass trench coat and there's two people stacked, one person stacked on top of the other? This is how they walk.
Trying to be taller. He just looks like a freak. He has the longest legs you've ever seen with no muscle on them whatsoever. He can barely walk.
Looking like he's about to, like he's walking on a tightrope. Or he's just about to, he's subject to fall any second.
Yeah, he's the tallest man when he's on the airplane. How is that a good thing? Just because you're the most of something doesn't mean it's a good thing.
We know that every single inch, you grow past 6 foot, you're adding like an additional $500 to your average annual income in America.
And so he makes a great point. It's true.
$500.
As you get taller, your income, it goes up. There's literally a correlation. Also, your perceived value from a female, for every inch, it's approximately $30,000. And what does that mean? I'm only 5'6". He's 6'2". He's literally...
In order to be seen on the same level, he has to make more money than the guy that is 6'2" with big certain
8 inches taller than me. This is 9.5 inches. He's a lot taller. 8 times 30, $240,000. And so I would have to earn $240,000 more per year to be deemed equally attractive to most females. And so if you have more height, you don't need as much money. And so the taller you are, the more poor you can be and still get a quality lady. And to the opposite extent, the more money that you have, the less height that you actually need. Hence, 5'6", but 6'5" when standing on my wallet.
So I think it's very reasonable, knowing these disparities, knowing things about dating app statistics and how women are literally just filtering out people completely under outrageous height percentiles.
But do you really want to be with a woman who's going to have a height profile limiter set at 6'3"? He's 6'2". Would he really want a woman who thinks that looks are that important that they have to be 6'3"? If you have a woman that thinks, I'm not dating anyone under 6'3", there's the door. You don't need to be with this girl. There's certain things that are just so superficial that why would you bother?
And who is living like that? Who is saying 6'3" and like standing on that? We see social media. Yes, again, I believe in the term. That's only real on the internet. Some people don't. But I believe in the term. She says you need to be 6'3". Nigga, if I come around and I'm let's say I'm 6 foot and I'm coming around and I'm living and moving how I'm moving, I guarantee. And she like everything else is perfect. She's not like, oh, but hold on, and then she pull a tape measure out on you. She ain't gonna be like, oh, you're 6 foot, not 6 foot. So it's not happening.
And to the same extent, this man is already attractive. Now, imagine him with limb lengthening surgery, with the cheek implants, the nose job, and all of these things. What kind of woman is going to want to be with this man? Are you really going to want to be with a man who's putting on makeup next to you in the morning, getting in your way, and saying, hey, is it smudging? How do I look? That isn't very masculine. And so although it pays off to be beautiful, not when you have to go through these expenses.
I just don't really think that people are logical. I think that people want to live in fantasy land. That's the blue pill. Just someone with my brain chemistry, someone who's a little bit neurodivergent, it's just kind of unavoidable.
And so he's saying, hey, I'm red-pilled. I'm neurodivergent, and I can't live in fantasy land with the normies. And so I need to LooksMax because I realize what's going on. No, you don't. You're already attractive. And if you were smart, you would know that you've already got it made.
About how the face is all that matters. And, that bodybuilding and physique, it was cope.
Yeah, we get it. The face is more important than the body. He says it's 70% 30. There's nothing wrong with working on both. There's nothing wrong with building up your muscles, getting a proper tan, being lean, and shaving, whitening your teeth, perhaps getting Botox, but there has to be a line in the sand drawn somewhere when it comes to getting dangerous surgeries, limb lengthening, and so on.
The face is more important, and everything started to get worse as my face got more bloated, got more acne from doing the caloric surplus.
Bro, I thought you were smart. You're on steroids. What do you think is more likely causing the acne?
The acne. A caloric surplus, intaking more calories, or the steroids that are known to put people's backs and faces and chests in disarray with acne. That being said, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like the video. Shout out the man making the video, Coach Greg Doucet. I appreciate your great video. We gonna edit it like